again, it's Annie from My Creative Detour, and I'm hopping back on again today to do another project share as promised, a walkthrough video of the two traveler's notebooks that I made out of the rest of the Graphic 45 collection. So the collection that I used was this Graphic 45 Tropical Travelogue, and it was the deluxe collector's edition. I did actually buy a few extra sheets in this from my craft shop. So I think I had 3 extra sheets of different ones, and then I ended up having to pull 2 other patterns and solids green sort of from random other collections. So I did actually end up using 5 extra sheets of 12 by 12 paper to get everything made and decorated. So I do have a walkthrough video of this collection, linked below if you'd like to see what it looked like before I cut it all up. So it's available as well. So out of the collection, as you may have seen on previous videos, I got 2 traveler's notebooks and I got 2 mini albums. And I have a video of these mini albums linked below, and I do a fairly thorough walkthrough of one of them. They're basically the same except for the cover and the ephemera. So yeah, but they turned out really well, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. And they're very weighty, actually. They're very heavy. But let's get on with what today's video is about, and it's about having a look at the traveler's notebook. So I have these elastics that I got from 49 and Market, and they're quite good. They're silicone book elastics, or they're not actually elastic, but they're silicone, and they close the book without having to use fixings, and they expand. So as the people use it and put things in it while they're traveling, they're really good with giving extra stretch. So I have those on. I'll open them both initially to show you that they are pretty much the same, except for some of the decoration, but essentially they're the same. So I'll have a little walk through one of them. So the mini album is a 7.5 by 5.5 mini album, and it has a 2-inch spine. So I wanted to have the traveler's notebook the same size in basic dimensions, so that they could stand together on a bookshelf, and they kind of could go together if the person wants to do that. They have the same dimensions except for the spine. So like I said, it's 7.5 inches, which is 19 centimeters, by 5.5, which is 14 centimeters. And then this spine here, I did 1.25 inches, and that's 3.42 centimeters. And you can see that I have punched 2 holes and put eyelets in, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, so 4 holes, and put elastic in. Now I did make the covers using the lay flat method to do that, so that whenever I make these, I make quite a few of these notebook sort of style folders for different people for different reasons. And I made one for my boss actually, and put 2 notebooks in it, and she loves it because she can replace the notebooks and keep using the folder. But in these ones, getting back to just these, I did shrink the size down to what I normally make, so that it matched the size of the mini album. So in here you can see that I have a little baggie, and I pop in there all different sort of scraps. So I have some leaves in there, but you'll notice also that whenever when I get to the stage where I have little scraps, I punch out different shapes out of the pattern paper, little tags, and pop them in. So I really have no waste. I make sure that I use everything. I really don't like putting things back into my stash at all. So it's just a little baggie of leftover bits and pieces. Even these little ones here, I've got a little stamp punch, and I punch out little bits and pieces. You can see here that I've made out of the strips, leftover strips, did some paper weaving and just created a little journaling spot. And here's a cut apart to jot down itineraries. And then this is a bookmark and a journaling spot, and it's made out of all of the scraps. You can see that the strips of scraps, I've made things out of it. So the traveler's notebooks, I tend to do them last. So once I've got the mini album done, so that I can use all of the bits and pieces. And this is the same pocket die that I used in the other one. I'll link it below. I bought it from Amazon, and I've forgotten the name of it. I think it might be by Matt somebody, and I'll put it in the description below. But it's a really useful pocket, and I actually do it so that I can put something at the back, and then lots of space to store bits and pieces. And for a traveler's notebook, that's what you kind of want. You want to be able to put lots of bits and pieces in, and hold all of your things as you're traveling. So I'll pull one of these out. I actually made these notebooks myself, and I tend to do that quite a bit. And I use a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. You can see that I've sewn it together, and you can just search YouTube on doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch signature, and it's really, really easy to do. And I pull out quite a bit of paper. I usually put in different types of paper because I like sketching or doing mixed media. So when I'm doing my notebooks, I like to have different surfaces. So I have a mixture of drawing paper, so it's paper for doing graphite or colored pencil or something like that. So it's a heavier weight. And then we have some lined paper, photocopy, just cheap photocopy paper. I have some vellum or tracing paper. Being a designer, and I used to do lots of drafting and sketching on tracing paper. We tend to call it tracing paper here in Australia, but it's also known as vellum, and I would use that quite a bit. I've also got some atlas pages in there, and then another lined paper, and I cut up some of the leftover pattern paper and put it in, and here's just a tuck spot. So you can see that those scraps that I had left over, I've put them to good use just by putting in some belly bands. And this is actually mixed media paper, but in black. So it's really heavy gauge. I think it's 250 or 270 GSM. So be able to do some mixed media on this black one. And then it repeats. So there's the sketching paper again, lined paper, and some more trace, copy paper, lined paper. And you can see that I've used quite a few of the stickers throughout, and I've used the ephemera. There's another sticker. I just stuck it on some card, and I've just got it pinned in with a cute little paper clip that's in the shape of a leaf. Then we get to this page, and it's some of the coordinates out of the atlas. So just some different paper in there. And you can see that it repeats with all of the mixture of different types of paper, so that the user can do different things in it. They may want to sketch on some, they might want to paint on some, they might want to just journal and stick some things in. This one here is a sticker, and I just made it into a little tuck spot for both sides. And here we've got some more pattern paper, and I think I left it open. I did, so that could have a photo or something in it. So lots of space to actually do things in. And yeah, so that's book 1. And then book 2 is mostly the same. It just has a few, here it's got a little pocket tuck spot, and that's just made out of some of the scraps again. So we can see that it's got a mixture of paper again and some, that's where it's joined and it's sewn. Here we've got some leftover stamps and I just glued it onto some cardstock. So lots of space to do things. This was one of the stickers and it was a button. So I stuck it onto some cardstock and then I just sewed it. I actually sewed it onto the page. Here we can see there's one of those itineraries again. I just made a pocket. That's the other side of this one. See that it goes through. There's a pocket here. And then I turn this side into a pocket. And then some more paper, some atlas, and another tuck spot in the back of the second notebook. Then at the back, I just made a little passport out of one of the cut aparts, and lastly another bookmark out of some of the scraps. So you can see that I really did get as much as I possibly could out of the collection. So yeah, I was really happy with how they turned out. They'll be perfect for a gift for somebody who is going on a cruise or is traveling to the tropics or to New Zealand or South Pacific. The other one is pretty much the same. Obviously, some of the ephemera is different, but it's essentially the same. I do tend, I think I've mentioned before in other videos, I do tend to do multiples of things. I kind of think if I'm doing it once, I may as well do multiples and use as much as I possibly can. So you can see here, this one's got a piece of scrap pocket in there. So yeah, so that's how they turned out. I think that out of one collection and 5 extra sheets, I did reasonably well, getting quite a lot of content out of it. So that's the end of January's challenge. I know that I'm a little bit late, but I didn't start till the last week of January, so I was a little bit late, but hopefully I'll be caught up by the end of February. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. And if you like the projects, give me a thumbs up. That'll be really great. And subscribe to the channel to help it grow. That'll be wonderful. And you all have a great day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.